Hey YouTube, so I just wanted to share this video of my pole building garage edition. Um, as you can see here, this is just my existing one-car detached garage. So this whole project originally started out just basically as a privacy wall. So that's why you're seeing the metal go up before it really should have. So like I said, it was just for temporary privacy due to some issues, but I won't get into that. It's been rectified, but anyway, this is just the marking out of the lean-to edition. So for this garage project, I added a lean-to to the existing 12 by 18 garage to get me 24 feet wide total, and then I added a 24 by 27 pole building in front of the existing garage. So just showing the hole markouts. Digging the post holes for my pressure treated 6x6s, spaced at 8 feet. And realize in this video it is a DIY project. This is the biggest project I've ever done on my own, so just showing her header board there. Like I said, we're spaced out an additional 12 feet from that garage to get me 24 feet total. Me and my buddy doing the roof on here. He actually installed all the shingles on the lean-to. What I did do after the fact is I added a knee wall basically to help transfer some of that roof load directly down to the top plate of the wall. You'll see that coming up here soon. And I opted to go with shingles just to keep it consistent with the existing garage. So to the middle there, you can see that additional knee wall that I added. Just help shorten the span on the roof, transfer some of that load to the tall plate. My existing electrical running to the garage, the conduit was not in great shape and not buried pretty shallow, so I opted just to replace it. And just showing diagonal bracing. I think I used double to 2x10s for the header. And these are the materials for the pole building edition. You see these additional posts going up. Again, spaced at 8 feet, 6x6s. I also opted to use the plastic post protectors, which are supposed to help prevent rot in the ground. I think it's a good investment, not have to worry about rot. I'm starting to take shape here. This is the sidewalk I removed, so I opted, these are about 2x2 squares of about 5-inch thick concrete. I just opted to store underneath my deck to not have to deal with disposing them. And then just showing our walls and our truss delivery. This was all done back when COVID first hit. Turnaround time on these trusses was about 3 months. Opted to go with a scissor truss, or a 10-12 truss for the roof, and then that vaulted portion in the middle gives me more headroom. You can see the trusses start to go up. So it was me and a few buddies doing these first 5, and then they were just so awkward to put up and so top heavy. We didn't have the right equipment, so I opted just to source it out to a roofer slash framer. This is just showing a little turnaround I opted to do to widen the driveway. Like I said before, property line didn't really coincide with the driveway, so I just opted to widen it onto my property. So luckily I had a neighbor with a tiller. He just tilled up all the topsoil, and I hauled that down to the bottom of my yard. Again, just showing the 5 trusses that we managed to get up. Still had 3 more to go. And this driveway here will make a little bit more sense as the video goes on. Here's the roofer, which I hired, and he had this all done in 2 days, I think. So sometimes it's worth it to hire out a pro. This is the only thing that I didn't do on the entire project was the trusses, the purlins, and the roof metal. Roof metal starting to go up. I'm glad I opted to do this in 2020 when metal prices were a lot cheaper than what they are now. Metal's about double the cost. This metal was $2.19 a linear foot for a 3-foot wide panel. Now it's over $4. So really starting to take shape with the roof metal. Yeah, things starting to take shape on this side, and then the driveway, like I said, is starting to make more sense. So the saw cut, you can see basically where the property line is. Saw cut that, removed the asphalt, and then hired out a friend with an excavator. And luckily we had plenty of good sub base, so a lot of this just got spread around from where the asphalt used to be, and I actually had to order some more. That's number 3 rock, if I remember correctly. Give us a good solid base. You'll see what it looks like, chunks of asphalt, but this was done in January and February, so it was just so cold. Things were bits of rock literally frozen together. You can see it starting to get leveled out here. And you'll probably wonder about the post on the left-hand side, what we had to do to sort of tie those together since we excavated down a little bit further, but you'll see that get taken care of. And this is just showing the drainage. My yard slopes down to the side here, so I just opted to run a 4-inch line down. There's an existing gully sort of on the property line there to direct the water. And then this is the bottom corner of my yard. A bunch of extra fill and topsoil that I had, so this just got leveled out. My buddy with his excavator, and just opted to plant some grass seed here. This is just sort of showing my DIY pump. I have rainwater collection on my little shed here. I got some plastic drums tied together and a little Harbor Freight pump. You can just hook it up to your drill. Free sprinkler system. Soffit and fascia going up. And I'm sure I'll have professional roofers telling me that I did it wrong, but like I said, I'm just a DIYer. I opted to use vented for the entire soffit just to make sure I have plenty of air circulation in the summer. This right here is just showing how I tied together the existing posts. So doweled into the concrete and formed up a 10-inch wide wall, and then you can see the first section, so I had to do 3 sections to tie the 4 posts together, and I literally don't think it's going to go anywhere. So I'm just showing the front framed up portion of the garage. For the 2 garage doors, opted to go with a 9-foot wide by 8-foot high, 2 separate garage doors. I'm still waiting on those as of October 2022. Inside of the garage, and I'm opting just to keep the old portion of the garage sort of rustic looking. That garage and the house were built back in the mid-30s, so I think it's kind of cool to go into a garage and see another old garage inside of it. And then this is just a platform I added, and this was not looking great between the house and the new extended portion of the garage, so I opted to do a sidewalk from the driveway. Again, this is first sidewalk I've ever done. So lucked out with this. If you're looking for leftover construction supplies, check out Facebook, because I found the gravel that I needed for underneath the sidewalk free on Facebook. Just had to go pick it up. So laid that down, compacted it with a little hand tamper, and I opted, with this even being the first sidewalk that I've done, just wanted to throw a radius or 2 in there just to make it look a little, just a little nicer than average. So again, first sidewalk I've ever done with, even using an edger and doing like a broom finish on top. So I think for the cost of concrete and a free load of gravel, I think it turned out all right. Not perfect, but And just showing the side of the garage with the metal starting to go up, and then the view from on top of the existing garage. And I opted to go with the house wrap. I know a lot of people don't use it, but I figured for the expense, it's an extra $100, maybe $200, and then in the future, say if I do spray foam, it'll stick to the house wrap, but it's not going to stick to the metal. So if you ever want to replace a panel or whatever, say a panel gets dented, it's a lot easier to remove without having that spray film stuck to it. And also to note so just looking at some lighting I threw up, not fully installed, but just wanted to get some light in the garage there. And then this is a view from the top peak. So we're about 22, 23 feet up. I actually opted to use rent a boom lift and use that for my front metal. I honestly have no idea how I would have done it hanging off a ladder. So the pictures don't do the height justice, but the boom lift was definitely $300 well spent for, like I said, doing a soffit and fascia and front metal. And I also opted to do that little overhang there. I think for the small cost and lumber and, a day or two's worth of time to frame that up and get everything figured out, I think it was worth it. Also taking another look at the back, you'll also notice that I still need to do flashing in order to waterproof between the pole building and the lean-to. So it's not finished. So this is taking another look at the left-hand side and also looking at the old foundation of the old garage. Like I said, this garage was built along with the house back in the mid-30s. I believe 1934. So opted to dig this out. As you can see here, the center blocks were there was really nothing left. So I removed the first course. And once I got down to the second course, they were solid enough to where I could pour a concrete cap on there. And then I opted to do the new block on top of that, as you can see here. Again, I'm not a mason, I'm not a framer. Just watch a lot of YouTube and try to make it work. Just showing a side profile here between the concrete cap and the new blocks, and then I dowed all of the new center blocks into that new concrete cap and then filled all of those with concrete, so it's solid, it's not going anywhere. And then I opted just to house wrap over top the original siding. So again, looking at this side, still isn't finished. I need to finish off a treatment below the metal on a pole building. So that's where I stand currently with my garage. Still more work to be done. Still have to install garage doors. Still have to find a contractor for the concrete. And then eventually I'd love to get the driveway paved. So it's been over a year on my time working on this as I can. But just wanted to post this video up, give anyone, some ideas if they're going through a similar situation. So, all right. Thanks for watching.